Hello, happy WikiTree Challenge Wednesday. How is everyone doing this evening? I hope everyone's good. I see we have a whole bunch of people watching, and we have, as you can tell, we probably have a couple faces missing, but that's okay. We have some people who are here to fill in, and I guess we can go ahead and start by introducing everybody who is in the stream. So, myself, hello, I'm Sarah. I am a WikiTree team member. And then we have next to me, we have Gena, who is our current guest star, who we're wrapping up today. We're going to give her all the goodies and surprises that we found. Below me, we have Emma, the team captain for Gena's week. And then we have Karen, who is a team captain as well, not for this week, but since Mindy couldn't make it today, she's offered to fill in. So that's everybody who's here. So for those of you who don't, maybe you're new to watching the stream, your first time watching, you don't know what WikiTree is, you don't know what the WikiTree challenge is, let me give you a brief overview of that. So WikiTree is a community of genealogists who are all working together on a single family tree. In other words, we collaborate to grow an accurate global tree that connects us all. And most remarkably, it's free. The WikiTree Challenge is our year-long event and part of our Year of Accuracy, where each week a team of WikiTreeers takes on a genealogy guest star's tree and collaborates to make it more accurate and complete than it is anywhere else. Our goal is to improve our accuracy on WikiTree, add more family connections, and make more friends. So that's WikiTree and the WikiTree Challenge. And just a reminder, if any of you have any questions, comments, post them in the chat and we will answer them, show them when the time is right. So I guess we can go on. So Karen will be telling us all about how the scoring works, how we collaborate on the WikiTree Challenge, and all that good stuff.
That's right. We enjoy getting together with new friends, old friends, and collaborating together each week. And this week we have had some fun working on Gena's tree. And our main ways for keeping ourselves orderly, we're a pretty unruly bunch, but we keep a spreadsheet going with the names of the folks who are participating this week. And we just note which ancestor of Gena's we're working on so that we're not overwriting each other's edits. So we keep ourselves organized that way, because everyone wants to contribute, and especially in the first moments when we're kicking off the challenge, we're all excited to tackle a new ancestor. So we use the sheet to note who we're editing. And then, just having a static spreadsheet out there that we're editing isn't enough collaboration for a lot of us. So we also enjoy chatting with each other on our own Discord server. Discord is an internet chat tool, much like Slack or, Instant Messenger and things that we use in our work life. And here on WikiTree, we use this server and keep a channel for each week of our challenge where we tell each other what obstacles we're facing, offer to help each other out, find out who's within striking distance of an in-person archive. Like I visited one myself this week.
Awesome. Okay, so do you want to give a quick, so we'll show our MVPs, yes. But do you want to give a quick, that wasn't even updated, so we're going to skip that slide.
All right.
Just look at the stat page instead.
We'll take a look at our points spreadsheet in a little while to see how we did. There we go. Mm-hmm. So we like to make it a challenge, and we like to challenge each other. And so we keep track of how much activity we have on the tree. And so we like to look for new ancestors and ancestors that are new to WikiTree. We can see in the second column there, folks added ancestors that weren't already present on our tree. So the ancestors and the relatives column. And because it's a challenge, We give ourselves bounty points. So we give out 10 points when we find an ancestor that's new to Gena's tree that we don't see on the guest wherever we're comparing whatever other website they might choose to use besides our favorite. We'll go look at their tree and award points for folks who find new ancestors or find mistakes on a guest's tree and propose a new branch. And so here we can see we have a top 5 team, and look at that. Some of us who are talking to you right now have been very busy this week. So you'll see Emma and I as part of that, and we have a most valuable WikiTreeer, and this week that's Greg Lavoie. And when we get into the discoveries that were made for Gena, she'll start to understand why someone named Lavoie might be the most valuable player this week.
So then let's see how many points we have overall. So our total points for the whole challenge, including bounty points and ancestors created, 724. So we get the 10 pound, like Karen said, 10 points for the bounties, and then the 1 points when we create new ancestors or new relatives. And then we have, so our new direct ancestors total, we have 104 new, well, not necessarily new, just direct ancestors, because we start off with just the great grandparents, and anything we add after that wasn't already on WikiTree, we count that towards the
right. So we'll see the things that are new to Gena will be more in our bounty points, right? But we love to look at our total edits made for the week. So each time someone went in and made an improvement to an ancestor or cousin or extended relative, then we have those total edits as well.
And then we had 310 relatives created, so nuclear relatives, so any, siblings, aunts, uncles, all of that, nuclear relatives. I think just one, or I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2, but just those nuclear relatives out. So 310 of those. And then bounty points, so that's when we broke a brick wall or corrected an ancestor. We have 310 points. That means 31 brick walls broken, Gena.
Oh. Okay.
So, and then we have all the profiles edited. So unique profile edit. So anything from ancestors created or nuclear relatives or profiles already on WikiTree. There were 918 unique edits to the profiles. And then total edits were 3,555. And this doesn't count anything that was done on maybe branches that went further out, because people usually like to do that. And people also create free space pages or talking in G2G or on Discord or anything else on the side. That doesn't even count that. This is just what WikiTree counts for those ancestors' nuclear relatives. So it's kind of amazing.
It's a lot of work.
So now let's go back and go back to our PowerPoint. So we'll go ahead and start off with the Philibert line.
Okay.
And then Emma and Karen are going to take it away because they know all of this.
I first want to give a shout out to Isabel Racino, who you'll see that she wasn't high on the points list because the work she was doing was a different kind of work. She I consider her our resident expert on some of the genealogy that's way far back on lines, like back pre-1700. And she was going in and cleaning up a lot of the French ancestry that all of your French Canadian lines went to. And she spent a great deal of time on that and just really cleaned up the tree, and very invaluable work. Fabulous. And just a quick fun fact, those of us who are working on your French Canadian lines, the 3 of us main ones, we're all related to you, of course.
Oh, really?
We're all French Canadian.
Yes.
And so Karen and I are ninth cousins once removed, and Greg Lavoie is fifth cousins once removed. And he said you're now his closest relative on WikiTree.
Wow.
Oh, how funny
That's
is
awesome.
that?
That's cool. And that's on the Philibert line that he's related to you. And that's part of how we were able to make a lot of progress too, because he knows these families extremely well.
Yeah.
So we added some new ancestors for you, quite a few actually on the French-Canadian lines, starting with the Marquis line here for, I don't know how you say that, the Pascal Marquis. And yeah, sorry, it's really small, so I have to get really close to the screen.
Can I just make one quick comment, Emma, before you begin? So just to let everyone know, so the orange squares or arrows are things new, and the green squares or arrows are what that was corrected.
Okay.
So, and I think the first one here we actually have is Marie Olette. At least on the that's the first slide I have.
Okay, what was the first slide? Did you go back a slide, or where are we?
So hold on. So we have Oscar Philibert. So that's just the great grandparent that we're branching out from. And I kind of did it, I put them in order. So first we have Michael Olette, Marie Olette. So we had added new parents for Michael and Simaud. So.
For Michelle and Marie Madeleine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you get kind of lost in all the French Canadian people because a lot of the names are very similar, which is one reason we have to be very careful to get the baptism records, really dig into those original records and make sure we have the right kids with the right parents. But the big box in orange are all the new ancestors since we've added new parents here, and you can see the blue and red arrows at the very end on the right. That means there's more people going even further out. Okay. Because as you probably know, the French Canadians kept very good baptism, death, and marriage records. So if you know how to find those records and you can read French, you can just keep on going until those records come to an end. So there's quite a bit on those two lines.
Yeah, so what were these? Like you added the parents and then they already had lines made, so then that's how we got all those ones too.
Right.
Or you guys...
Right. And in a lot of cases that's the case because we have a very active French Canadian community on WikiTree. So a lot of what we did too is when we connected those lines up, we went in and made sure everything was correct as far as we could. And that's why Isabel was cleaning up some of the stuff farther out when it got back to France.
Right. It seems like just like in here, down here, we all like to, claim European ancestors that we might or might not have. It seems that we kept Isabel pretty busy with, crazy connections to French ancestors and Huguenot French ancestors that might or might not have been accurate. Right.
And it gets passed around from website to website, trees to trees. So it's really good that, and when she's doing that cleanup, she's leaving notes so that those people don't get reconnected. While we're on this line, I also wanted to mention that Greg Lavoie made a space page for you for the Philibert line.
Actually, I have that here.
Oh, you do? Because it wasn't in my. Okay.
So what is that?
What is this page?
Yeah.
Basically, what he did is he made some charts of some of the really cool people in your Philibert line. Like he's got the Filles du Roi, which are supposed to be really special, but they were the women who were sponsored by the king to come over and marry men in Canada. And then he's got some other tables on there as well for you.
Fabulous.
A little bit interesting that he put together for you this week. So you've got the Filles du Roi, and then below that there's the Filles Mariées. And then I think he had some other people of interest as well.
You're like Canada resident. Wow. Other ancestors. And like I was saying before, like all this work that was put into this free space page didn't even count towards the total edits, the points. So it's awesome that our WikiTrees are so motivated to just make it the best that they can. So then I love it.
Absolutely.
So that's the free space page, and you'll get all this good stuff emailed to you.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
And can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
So I know people looked up different sources and they cited those. Do they attach the documents, or how does that work? No. Okay.
Usually not because either copyright or terms of service for the different websites. We try not to add the documents. It just depends. But we try to leave a link as many times as possible. We try to use Family Search as much as we can because that's free and you don't have to have a paying subscription. So wherever possible, we were trying to, and I know Karen and I were tag teaming and leaving, like I would put Ancestry and she would put, one of the other websites. So you had multiple gateways to get to the document.
Right.
Perfect.
It seems like most of these French Canadian folks, you'll see links that'll take you straight to an image of the parish register. The parish register.
Great.
It just kind of depends on where the document is.
Yes. Okay, so I guess we can go on to
Where are we at next?
The next. Francois
Rouleau. We have some new parents for her, which gave us additional ancestors as well, which continue in many cases here, continue on past pre-1700 era. And then the next person is, okay, I'm trying to remember which parent got corrected here. I think it was Basile here.
Yes. It was both. Was it both?
That got corrected? I thought it was just Basile. I know he had the incorrect parents connected and we got the correct ones attached, and then that gave some new ancestors there.
Oh, that's right. There was a case where, and on the Philibert as well, there was a Michel that was correct in Gena's tree already, but like one who had immigrated to New Brunswick had been conflated with one who stayed in Quebec.
Then we have
Jean-Baptiste Courtois. We have new parents. I think these were corrected ones, or maybe they were added. I can't remember. We were elbow deep in French Canadians this week, but we have all that entire orange block again, our new ancestors, and then the blue and red arrows take you pre-1700s, so it continues on from there.
Wow. So most of these, I'm assuming you took all the way to France.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's where Isabel was working, was on the France side of things for the most part.
We have a lot of new ancestors to go through, Gena.
I was going to say, now I'm kind of feeling tired thinking about, because, obviously I want to go look. So.
Well, and and one reason why it shows that we added more than 400 new relatives for you this week is we went in and not only added the couple, the ancestral couple, but we were adding as many of the kids as we possibly could based on those original records, baptism records and such, because that may help you lead to additional records. And as well, it will also help you connect with other cousins who may be related through those other children.
Absolutely.
It's always fun.
I was going to say, these people had a lot of kids, so.
Well, there was no TV.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, for maybe those who aren't familiar with French Canadian, that they get baptized with usually the same name. Either it's Marie for the females and Joseph. So usually that's it can be confusing when the similar, and then
particularly when people keep putting Madeleine and Louise in the middle name, which is not really the way it's conceived there. That your name really is Marie Louise. And so when we bury that in the middle name, then it looks like everyone's named Marie.
Right. But on the baptism record, it always has all their names. So that's why it helps to find those original records. And we're still on the French Canadians.
So many. I think this is what we mostly broke our biggest breakthrough was the French Canadian.
So Marie Moreau, we had new parents for her, and which includes a long line of ancestors. And I saw that DNA flag, and I was like, "Why is there a random DNA flag?" So I went and checked, and this is because somebody had a mitochondrial DNA test done, and it ends right there at Francoise. I can't think of his Roulet. It ends at her, and so it's. Marie is not part of that mitochondrial line, so it's through one of Francois' other kids.
Wow.
Interesting. Not a French Canadian.
Well, it's funny because I had told Mindy, don't do the French Canadians, because I actually had a cousin who did it. And after I said that, I realized, you know what? I don't even know if it's correct, because I've never, I've always left it alone, because I thought, well, she did it. I don't need to do it. And then the other day I thought, it's probably better that they do that, because I have no idea if it's correct or not. So.
Yeah, and most of it there were just a couple spots where there were some incorrect parents attached, or it was a generation off for some reason. In other cases, we were just adding additional people onto the line. So yeah, you were in pretty good shape, and we just added a lot more kids to the picture.
Well, that's exciting though, because yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I got a chance to go to Quebec a few years ago, and I hope to go again soon. So this is great.
And then, go ahead, Karen.
I was just going to say, just the opportunity to have people working on it who are from Quebec and from France,
yes,
is just so nice, because I've made mistakes in parishes before where someone has said, no, you're not thinking of that Nouvelle or that Trois Rivières, you're thinking of this one, and you don't understand that that's the neighboring parish,
Absolutely. Yeah.
We
don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
We had a question about the French Canadian line real quick before we move on. Lewis asked, does the Rolu spelling really change every generation?
The thing with spelling, as you probably know, the records will vary. You'll see a different spelling depending on whoever was writing down the information. And so I think what's happening is the spelling is based on whatever record was used for that person. So it's not so much that it changes every generation. It's just maybe those are the only records that were available.
Or the priest who was writing out that register was quite sure that you were from the Rouleau family when you were actually saying Roulet, and he just knew better. And so that's what he wrote.
Oh, the handwriting on some of these records. Woo! Yeah. Now we're to England, aren't we? Wait, no, this is America.
Montgomery?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Was this a correction?
Yeah, the green is it says this was corrected. The Montgomery.
Oh, okay, that's right. You gave us a key on that. So we've had corrected parents for James Montgomery, which means that we had some changes. I think it was just in the father, though. Is what I thought it was. I could be wrong.
I was just going off my notes when I was making boxes.
I think it was just the father.
But we can look at let's see what we can look at her change history. Oh. That's the best thing we could probably do.
Well, I can just look at her original tree too, and she had Thomas Montgomery and a Hannah. Thomas. Okay, it was Thomas and Elizabeth Riddle were the original, and can you go back to the
slide?
Ancestors. I'm trying to go between my tabs here. Where'd we go? Montgomery. It helps me if I look at the original. Here we go. Okay. So yeah. Here we go. Okay, so it was Thomas Montgomery that we have new parents for, is what happened, because originally it was a different, I think it was either James or a different Thomas Montgomery and a Hannah.
Oh.
And so now we have James Montgomery and Mary Summer. I think the last name Summer, there was still a question mark whether that was a married, like a previously married name, or whether that was her maiden name. And there's some research notes regarding that situation there.
Oh.
And then we have some additional. Oh, she moved on me. We have
Oh,
some.
sorry. I was just gonna go show the research notes. I'm sorry.
Yes, maiden name probably Summer, but could be Turner. There's some research notes on there as to why that was a question mark. And then James has a new set of ancestors there for you because we've added his parents.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Robin. Thomas and Hannah were the original, and it's now James and Mary.
Robin, you should have come on. We should have had you live, and you could have talked about the Montgomerys.
I didn't work on these profiles, so I'm not as familiar with them.
And they had the French Canadian down pat.
Yeah, I'm still in the French language. That's my problem.
Okay, so so it's James Montgomery and Mary Summer that were corrected, and then that ended up adding the Robert and Sarah and all of that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And we had a team working on those early wines. They were really digging in, trying to work on that brick wall, but it was pretty solid this week. But they did have, they did do quite a bit of work and probably left some good notes on there.
Fabulous. Thank you.
And so Johannes Johnson, we have, I believe it was, I'm trying to look. I thought it was, we had a whole new set of parents for him. Or maybe
it get added after the fact, after I made this.
Well, it's very possible because I
can check. We can go.
I know Anne was working on working as fast as she can to add people.
No, it's still just Johansson, but no new parents yet. We have some research notes. So we have not found a birth record.
We did a great deal of work on this. So on the Dawn line, I'll wait till you go back to it.
And since Cardgen Rayner's Dawn got new parents. Cardgen.
Right. She's pulled a lot of records on this, so you'll be able to find those on the profiles, which is why you're going to see some slight changes in the names because those were pulled from like the original baptism records.
Okay.
So on the Dawn line, first of all, we have the last name now for, I think she was Cassie Dawn is what she went by when she was living in the United States, but she, I can't even say the name. Is it Jetji Cassina Dawn?
Chelsea.
So we're able to, what?
It's Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I knew my great grandmother. Yeah. So she was alive, when I was a little girl. So yeah, it's Chelsea. It's kind of weird. Yeah.
Okay. So we were able to identify the last name for her mother, which then gave us the ability to go back another generation in Germany. And then for her father, being able to find his records, we were able to find his parents, which gave us then some additional generations as well. So that was very exciting.
Yes.
And there's quite a bit of research on those. There'll be some records and notes on those profiles.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah. Thomas is saying the residence books for the Johnson line annoyingly didn't match any baptismal records.
Oh.
Yeah. And
I don't know what that means, but I'll take his word for it.
and then Robin was saying about the Montgomerys that they should trace back to Scotland as there is a clan Montgomery.
Oh, okay.
So, yes.
And I want to give a quick shout out to Frank, who is one of our Germany experts who popped in when he could to help read records and check things out for us.
Frank Yatsik. I know how to pronounce that one. Do we have anything else for this line?
Yep, that's it on that one.
Okay, I think. Okay,
we have some more Germans. Yes, the Schumer. We actually have more on the Schumacher line since you created this slide, because we have the parents of George Michael Schumacher, and then
I can open his page. I have them ready.
Well, no, you have them there, but they're just not boxed. The parents for Margaretha Barbara Martin, I believe. Those
they're new too.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like on the Schumacher line, I can see the blue and red arrows.
Yeah, they're extended. Here, let's go look. Let's go look at all those Schumachers.
See how many more we have.
Oh, just one, at least for Adam and Anna. And then for Schaeffler, looks like, yeah, just the parents were added. So
that's always exciting, you know, as far back as you can get it. It's always fun to see how far you can go.
Absolutely, because quite frankly, I would not have done that, because I was saying before, I think you came on, that Germany is not my, you know, specialty. So this is fabulous.
Mine either. So I'm pleased that we had some people who were able to find and read the records. They would bring stuff into the Discord chat, and I'd be like, okay, I'm taking your word for it because I can't read that.
Exactly.
But I think that's where we really shine, the ability to get, you know, 30, 40 people together who, this is our idea of fun, you know, is to get our German friends and English friends and Irish and French and Canadian and Americans all together, you know, working on one mission. And it's really neat to see what we've accomplished.
Well, the words right out of my mouth, Karen.
When you can crowdsource stuff, then you do get people who have expertise in every, you know, different stuff, whereas when you're just working by yourself, you don't have that expertise.
Yeah, and that's one of the beauties that I love about this week is somebody will come on the chat and say, I have this record, here's what I'm thinking, and somebody else will come on and say, well, I have this piece of information over here, and let's compare, and before you know it, you have a full profile and new ancestors. So
yeah,
very exciting.
And of course, now we're showing off, but you don't just have to be the famous Gena Philibert-Ortega to get this kind of help. You know, I see it on our forums. And, you know, in the messages we send back and forth all the time, that I'm so always impressed with just the knowledge and the generosity of the members.
Definitely. All right. What else do we have? I think we have some more.
This may be the last one. Yes.
Go.
Oh, that's the last. Okay.
Yeah, that's our last.
A couple others that didn't make it on there, but you'll get a complete list of all the brick walls that we broke and all the new ancestors. Do you want to explain this, Sarah?
Yes. So this is Mindy's fancy dancy brick wall chart. So she has the yellow are all of the potential brick walls that could have been broken, and then all of the B's are actual ones that we broke through. So, and says there's 41 on here. We'll send you this chart as well. Okay. But basically, all of the yellow were the potential, and the B's were the ones that we actually broke through. So, and it's just the nice little visual that we like to show.
Because now that I think of it, we did break down at least one brick wall in England that didn't get talked about tonight. So yes, there were definitely some other ones.
Yes. Mindy being sick. So she's better explaining this chart too.
We just all fall apart without our challenge leader.
But we miss
that. I did peek at one thing, and I noticed that you guys found something that I had not found, and I had done research on that person, and you found an obit that I did not find. So that was very exciting.
Which one was that?
That was it was Melinda Randall Montgomery. So she spent her last years in the Oregon State Hospital, which I knew because I had gone there many years ago and researched, and I had gone to the funeral home, and I have her death certificate. But the problem is, and this is a good reminder, is her name was Melinda Randall and then Melinda Montgomery. But she married a second time, and her name was Lenny Bean.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I forget, to look
Mhm.
under Lenny because her name's Melinda. And when I peeked and I saw that obit, I thought, oh, that's right. So that was very exciting. And I think that's the beauty of having crowdsourcing is other people think differently. And they're not so entrenched in this is the name,
And different people have better experience at different records. Like newspapers are not my go-to place because I struggle with them, but we have people on our team who are wizards at newspapers and bring all these obituaries and articles to the table, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
So it was an amazing week, and I just loved watching how everybody worked together and all the progress we made. You had some tough brick walls, I will admit. But I hope that we made a little bit of progress on them.
Yeah, I'm excited to go through and go page by page and look at that French Canadian stuff. And yeah, I'm really excited to look through it all. So, and I meant to invite a cousin who also is on one of those lines. He asked me about it, and now I can give him that information. So, yeah.
Yeah, our WikiTreeers did a fabulous job, and also, it's not like you just got 31 new ancestors. You got the 31 plus whatever other connections were there, and the siblings and the children, and so it's so much.
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing to me that however many people there were, 30 or 40 who worked on this. That you all spent a week doing this. And I mean, that is fabulous. And I really appreciate it.
It's like one big party for us. It's a chance to get together and play, kind of.
It seems like some people were saying that we didn't start on time while others said we did start on time. So I am not sure. I'm just reading the chat. So
right. Yeah, I know. We were going live right on the hour, so I wonder if one of the partner sites where we're viewing the stream had a delay.
Yeah. So it should all be recorded, so you should be able to go back. There might have been something that happened live, so if you guys can it's recorded, so you guys can go back. It didn't tell me anything on my end. It says we've been live for 37 minutes, and it's 37 minutes in. So, but it is all recorded on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can watch it as many times as you want, over and over again. So, do we have any other questions? Gena, did you have any questions or comments, remarks before, or anybody else?
Well, so I'm trying to look at the chat while you're talking. So thank you, Donna, for finding that obit. That's very exciting.
I thought that might be Donna.
Yeah, that is wonderful. I'm so excited about that. I feel like I need to go and look, and I'm probably going to have questions afterwards. I really do want to thank everybody. I am honored that I was chosen, and this is really wonderful. So I'm sure I'm going to have questions. I think I shared with Mindy that I'm not very good at figuring out the website. So it's a block.
It's a learning curve. Everybody
It is. So I think it's going to be me trying to figure out and then trying to, absorb all the new information and the sources and stuff.
Well, we are so glad that you accepted to come on. We're honored to work on your tree. I know everybody had a fabulous time.
Thank you. Looking
at all of that. So unless there's anything else, we will probably just say goodbye. So this coming week, it is a rest week. We like to give our WikiTreeers a week of rest every once in a while because we're just having them go all the time. So this coming week's a rest week. So, rest or just do other things on WikiTree, up to you. But we will still have next Wednesday. We'll have our next guest. I will probably butcher her name, Yvette Hoytnick. I think I said that right. So she'll be our guest next week at 8 p.m., I believe. But keep an eye on that time. I haven't checked. We have our Saturday LiveCast every Saturday at 10 a.m. I know I was not there last weekend because I out of town and didn't have internet. But this Saturday I will be there, 10 a.m. And Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends. And with that, we will see you next time, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching.